All right, this is recording 801. The name of this recording is Listen Next 801. You can find me at speakingtothecia.com or christinastation918.com. Okay, so this one is going to be more decode. It's going back in time. So going back again over my life, and then finding out more that she did in history. So again, you want to note when you go through this, just see what else is there, looking for future terrorism and everything else in it. So, okay, so the one thing I wanted to point out, I thought I already told you guys this. Oh, no. No, okay, remember I told you one of the Native American tribes that is underground, that lives underground, is the Blackfoot tribe. And then I find out by doing research that they are from Sheridan, Wyoming. And I was like, oh my God. So anyway, I've got another podcast that's going to go to Sheridan, Wyoming. So moving forward, okay. So you know in 1976 when I ran away or took off that morning because I was going to go ride my mom's friend's motorcycle when I was in first grade living in Globe, Arizona at the first house. Okay, and then all my walks home, all that's all significant. Okay, so, and then my walks home from East Globe Elementary to the first house. So you can see all my podcasts on that. And then my walks home at the other house, at my house east in Cottonwood. I'm sorry, my speech is being controlled by the people that are on today trying to steal my identity, but I don't know why they still think they're getting away with any of that. But anyway, so okay. So this is supposed to be like a AIW trippy look back in time effect. But everything, like I told you, everything is significant. Everything is important. So I go, oh my God. But then everybody else pays attention because whenever I'm going, oh my God, they know there's something more there. Okay, so I don't know what the corner is. It's on my way to AA. It's where the Tate brothers, I live in Tulsa, as you know, where the Tate brothers is. And then across the street is... Somebody's tried to talk through me making a joke. It's not even freaking funny. That poor bank. They called it the Mavis Bank. the Mabry Bank. And then you know what else they pointed out to me? Look how this bank, the bank's mad. Like, they're mad. They're not mad at me. They're mad at the ICE rapist, okay, which is Gene Roberts and her Manson occult. They're like, oh my God. But anyway, like whenever I drive through that intersection, the Tate Brothers Company, Gene likes to claim them. Like, no, you're not claiming us. It's your business. You killed Sharon Tate. We'll stand for all the people that you killed. You're not claiming us, Gene Roberts. Get your ass back on the crosswalk. So anyway, the Mavis Bank, Mabry Bank does that too. And it happens in my brain and mental telepathy. It's on Yale and something. I can't remember. Yale and 81st. No. It's Yale and 81st, I think. No, that's 81st, and then I don't know. It's somewhere in that area. Okay, so anyway, so if you go up around the bend there, there's an American Heritage Bank on the up the street from Tate Brothers. Then there's an American Heritage Bank. And then on the left side, there's a gigantic subdivision, okay? And it's got real high walls. So anyway, how all that got developed, they're trying to make me revert back. This is literally what they like literally put in my head, like, look what we did, to make me like trip out, like it make me feel like the Incredible Shrinking Kid, like I am in first grade again, only I am in Tulsa now, but I'm seeing my childhood from Arizona, from Globe, Arizona, in Tulsa. So I'm looking and I can still see and feel everything, like walking home from school. But like looking at that whole vision right past, there's a car wash behind Tate's. So like whenever I go through there, I'm like I trip out all the time because I'm like, it's like looking back at my childhood, seeing the hills and stuff, and I can see myself walking back and forth to school. So anyway, it's supposed to trip me out. Okay, so anyway, this goes to that area. So that area is called, the housing division is called Signal Hills. And there is, they were using and building that, they were using the Sugar Hill Gang. Okay, so that probably crossed her deuces. And you know it's Jean, because she's like tried to snatch that song by the Sugar Hill Gang, Apache. She tries to snatch my whole playlist. And then she tries to act like she's me, and then she tries to attack me with the very music that I found that she used to do all kinds of horrible stuff with. Some of it I really, really, really love. And that's by icing the artist or controlling the releases, and she's leaking terrorism that she committed or plans to commit in it. There's all kinds of stuff going on in my playlist. And some of those songs, like, I love, 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 love. So, anyway, so Apache, Apache goes to, Apache is in Arizona. So Apache Native Americans, and then you have Apache Junction. So there's probably something in that intersection. And then I decoded the Abajos underneath Apache Junction. And oh yeah, that was Superstition. Oh my God, even that. So they built the Superstition Mall over in Apache Junction, and then you have the Superstition Mountains, and then Superstition that goes to this Signal Hills and Sugar Hill Gang too. So anyway, Superstition Mountains, as you know, gold. Okay, so that intersection is important. Okay, so anyway, there is a brand of motorcycle called an Indian motorcycle, and I don't know what my mom's friend, what kind of motor he could. I don't know what kind of motorcycle it was, but I know what she did. She's using the Apache as Indian, and then Indian motorcycle. She also, there's a whole bunch that goes here. She also added to it over time by using Julia Roberts and Notting Hill. Okay, and then she's also making a reference to Indian School Road. And Indian School Road is also in Arizona. She's got businesses here that make references to, she's got it paired, so she knows I'll figure it out. So she's got businesses here that start, so you have Bethesda, Washington, right? And then you have Bethany Road, which goes to Bethany Homeschool Road. So there's a Bethany business here. So when I see it, and she overlays this stuff of like me being in daycare when I was like really little. But I went to, I think I went to La Petite. I was in Tucson, but I mean, any younger than that, I wouldn't know. I can't remember. But anyway, so she is using Indian School Road there. So I know that that subdivision is very significant. So then I went and studied Indian School Road even more. And so I studied 1891 to, I think I've got 1891 to 1990. And my notes are kind of old here because this is like a month old. It's been sitting on my phone, me decoding it. Oh, it does go to Indian School Road. I'm reading ahead. So Indian School Road is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a major east-west thoroughfare named after the Phoenix Indian Industrial School, a federal boarding school that operated from 1891 to 1990. I wonder if that's 1990. Wow. The road, I don't know if my notes are wrong. But anyway, the road, that's got to be 1890. Someone changed it. The road, because that's not, Gina is hacking her phone. So the road which runs through central Phoenix is directly associated with the school's historical site located at, and the address is 300 East Indian School Road. So the Phoenix Indian Industrial School was established in 1891, operating as a boarding school for American Indian children by the Bureau of Indian Affairs up until 1990. Okay, through its 99 years of operation, the mission of the school was to educate thousands of Native American children, though we know much of their education involved cutting of cultural ties. And I think it's not 1990. I think she hacked your phone is what she did. Though we know much of their education involved cutting of cultural ties and forced into assimilation to a military lifestyle in its early operation. So it's very, 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 very it's very heartbreaking. Okay. And I know that this is, I know that this is something that is open pain. So Gene Roberts, who pretends to be the best friend of Native Americans everywhere and is lying to them and conning them, and basically she's doing what she did in history. And she's doing it to African Americans too. She's like, you want to do this, you just want to do this my way. And Gene Roberts is a white supremacist. I'm going to go tell lies about Christina. I stalked Christina. I abused Christina. I'm going to make up lies, and then you guys can make money off the lies. Just do it my way. Like, do it my way or nothing else. And she literally forced people into assimilating and doing everything she said by forcing businesses. And I mean, I'm talking all the way in Hollywood, everything, literally forcing people to do what she says. So she's never changed. She's the same as she was before. And I don't have a way to communicate to Native Americans that are underground. I don't have a way to read. All I do is listen in my brain as much as I possibly can. And usually all I can hear is just layers. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like layers, sound wave layers, if I can put a visual to it. And each person that is spreading all the lies and doing all the suppression is on a different sound wave layer. And so I can't ever hear like what's being said or what's going on, because she lays over the top sound wave layers. So she's like, their only way to do anything is to do what she says. So that's horrible for the United States to not arrest Gene Roberts. And I know you guys just arrested a bunch of Ku Klux Klan, but this racket that Gene is running, perping that she's saving the children, and she's actually just like forcing people to do stuff her way and then claiming that's what they want. That is not, you don't speak for Native Americans, Gene. No, that's not what they want, because she's stripping their voice from them, because that's the exact kind of things that they want to talk about for themselves. But no, they got to help Gene sell freaking white kids that Gene freaking abused. Like, they're not actually, I'm sorry, people are controlling my speech, that she forces all people to do that. But it's aggravating because that isn't even the main focus of all of their issues. I mean, her abusing them, like gunny sacking in the past, and I'm not talking about her as in military, I'm saying like military, also her Manson occult in the past, like doing gunny sacking, like that's one issue of 1,000 million issues. Jean is the leader of the Manson occult. She is a predator. She wants only focus on what she's selling, and she wants to sell filth and grime and lies, and she wants to get away with running a child trafficking ring. And then she turns around and claims that's what Native Americans want to do. No, that's not what they want to do. You keep forcing people to do what you want them to do. You're sick, Gene. So anyway, okay. Okay, so all right, so Bethany Home Road is a major east-west thoroughfare in the Phoenix, Arizona metropolitan area, notably running through, get this, Glendale near State Farm Stadium. Originally named after a 20th century Christian health facility, it is sometimes, and nobody's mad at State Farm at all. They're not. They're mad at what Gene has done, and Gene trying to manipulate and con people and trying to trick them that she's the freaking Glinda the Good Witch, savior of all brown and black people everywhere, and people are sick of it. So I'm like, they've got people, she's got people with her that grape and fan her, and they're very wise to her. Then she goes and finds new people to trick and pulls even more people in. And then there are people that don't know anything yet. And then there are people who are very wise to everything because they follow my whole podcast, which is why you see them on the back end. Everything I decode and report results in the work of a lot of people arresting a lot of Ku Klux Klan. So Gene Roberts, you need to know you're the cherry on the Ku Klux Klan sundae. You're not getting away with any of this. You will be arrested. So, anyway, sometimes referred to as Cardinals Way near 95th Avenue. So, and then if you do 95, if you do 95, so the year 1995, okay, and then you do 9 plus 5, that's 14, and then you have the 9, so you have the Oklahoma City bombing date for 1995. The road is frequently used for commuting. Gene Jernigan Roberts is the one who committed the Oklahoma City bombing. And she wants to make this look like this is everybody else's doing. They did not do that. They didn't even know what any of those bombings even were. And when they found out that she did those bombings, they swore they were not going to allow her to do any more bombings. But Gene Roberts is a white supremacist. She's been committing terrorism left and right. So the road is like, because they're like, now we're aware, now we can stop her. There's no stopping her. The United States government has to stop her. The road is frequently used for commuting, with recent closures reported. That's at 65th Avenue. It's probably present day stuff going on. Okay, so anyway, also what's important here is the road takes its name from the Bethany Home, a sanitarium operated by a religious group in the earliest 20th century. purpose, it was primarily a place for treating tuberculosis patients. Remember I told you about me decoding her stealing needles, and I think people stole TB? So this goes to that. So people, her Manson occult. Remember I decoded all the future terror plot and all the what she plans to do. You got to see on my previous podcast. And then I turned her into Tulsa Police Headquarters for it. So that goes to this too. And she was going to try to frame people is what she's going to try to do. So anyway, you're going to want to read the rest. There's a whole bunch here about tuberculosis. They called it the White Plague. There were people in my brain that were like present day, like giving a hard time to Scottsdale in my brain because I'm from Arizona, and there were people on in my brain from Arizona, and they were like giving Scottsdale a hard time because Scottsdale is where all the that is known for affluent. Scottsdale is known to be affluent. It's where affluent people live. Okay, so anyway, so they established colonies there, and then Scottsdale like grows up and stuff. So there were tent cities there, Sunny Slope. I mean, see, that's people. That's. I know that's the Native Americans laughing in my brain, and people from Arizona like, you're not so fancy, Scottsdale. You're fancy, but let's not get out of control here. But anyway, so anyway, you're gonna want to read about the rest of this, all about Scottsdale and Indian School Road, and we need to like Jean Roberts needs to be arrested, and her terrorism needs to be stopped. Okay. Then also something that Jean told me, remember I told you in a previous podcast, Jean tried to tell me in my brain and mental telepathy that she's from Sonoma, California. I know she's from California, but I don't know where. I know she moved from California to Florida. I know she's from Milton, Florida. She swears she lived her whole life in Milton, Florida. No, she did not. She moved from California to Florida. But she tried to tell me she was from Sonoma. And so, let me remind you. So she is also saying she's her wine. She's using her wine bottle. She's probably, and then Noma is a Cancer word. So she's probably bragging out in the open that she's giving people cancer. But she's bragging about it on her wine bottle. But they said that people that I talked to and ran, they said, no, she's not really from Sonoma. Well, she's claiming she's from Sonoma. And then she's using son. She claims she has sons. She's the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. So anyway, then, okay, so now moving forward. Okay, so 1986, Excel Robertson and I, when we were in high school, okay? All right, so the Gone with the Wind terror plot that Gene Roberts planned that I decoded, and it's like really, really old, and it goes all the way back in time. Okay, so part of this is around my living in North Chicago. Okay, so she used also... which I already knew this, but it was something else I wanted to point out. She used the Carol Burnett clip, Scarlett O'Hara. Okay, so note Scarlett and then O'Hara. She used O'Hare Airport. She used that. And then also CL Code Hair. Then also, in the Charles Manson murders, remember I told you she hid in the closet, okay? When all the murders occurred, and then they took the fall, and then she gets them out later, and here we are present day, and now Charles Manson is just running amok all over the place. Okay, so she hid in the closet when she did the Charles Manson murders. Okay, so something else to point out is the closet in 1986. So Excel hid in the closet because my dad came home late, and so I'm like trying to hide him, and so I'm like, get in the closet. So he's literally hiding in my bedroom closet, and Jean hid in Sharon Tate's house in the closet. So she is literally trying to, by her doing that to Excel Robertson and myself, she's literally trying to frame African Americans. She tries to frame Latinos for all of that too. But she is the one, her and her Manson occult. So that's important, the two closets. And then also something else that goes together is here's a couple more cross reductions. Okay, Sharon Tate and Shower Curtain, and Sharon Tate and Scarlett O'Hara. She also used Mean Joe Green, and then in this I decode more out of this. So Emily Bronte is in it. The Man Who Saw Tomorrow is in it. Madame Curie is in it. Warrant is in it. W.C. Fields is in it. ARNT, and then WRCURINCB, then N, and then TE, and then CLET, and then AR, then Nectar, then Tennis Bracelet. And remember when I told you my counselor gave me a tennis bracelet? She gave me a big gigantic gummy rat and a tennis bracelet. Remember I told you that? And it was gold. It was gold, and it was silver, and it was copper. And it was braided, and I thought it was the weirdest gift I could ever receive from a high school counselor. And it fell down the drain in the shower. So she ice raped my counselor. This was in North Chicago High School. So, and the gummy rat was huge. It was like as big as my hand. So the tennis bracelet, so then you got tennis, and then you got love, and then look, tennis bracelet, TB, and then it's tennis. So you have NASA there. So also in this is Ecclesiastes, Eclair, Clairvoyant, Great Lakes, Great Dane, 417 Lindenwood, Claire Danes, Dana Dane. Also note the exit in Slidell. Just look around Slidell and look what Gene Roberts did also using ice on the community. But you're going to see Carol Burnett references there. So Dwarf, Wharf, Navy Pier, then you have Midway, then you have Middendorf. Again, she's trying to frame my dad, and USMC. She's using my den is what she's saying. She's also portraying herself as a milkmaiden. And then the my den actually refers to the Dobson family. And my mom and dad both of them are friends with Dobsons on both sides of my family. Because they know all the pioneer, they don't know all of them, but I mean, they know pioneer families of Arizona. So both of them on my mom and dad's side are both friends with the Dobsons. And I've had intermittent connections with the Dobsons in my brain. And they've told me, I mean, they know freaking everything. And they keep telling me Gene Roberts isn't going to get away with anything. Jean Jernigan Roberts of Milton, Florida. Jean is not getting away with anything at all. So, thank God they're out there. Hello, Dobsons. So anyway, then she's also using Lion Den, which is in Illinois. And then she's also using Doberman. And then she's calling herself Robin Hood. And she's using Disney to refer to herself as a fox. And then also she's using, also with the windows. Remember Excel jumped out the window? Okay, and I'm like, don't jump out the window, leave in the morning. Leave in the You know what? She freaking did that too. I bet you she ice raped Ice-T, and look at his name, Ice-T. She probably thought that was funnier than heck. Cause Colors came out after you moved from Chicago. There are people are talking through right now. Okay, the movie Colors came out after I moved from Chicago, and gangs were like big when I was in Chicago. And so Colors came out, and Ice-T had a song that came out. He had this album that came out that was really popular, and I have it on my playlist right now. 6 in the Morning, Police at My Door. I bet you she freaking Ice-T. He'll kill her. But anyway. So he'll just handle it at the White House like everybody else. Look, freaking Gene Jernigan Roberts of Milton, Florida, is taking people for a ride. Give us our money back. If you took our money, give us our money back. We do not want to help Gene anymore. Call this quits. Arrest Gene. Or let them get involved with also helping arrest the Ku Klux Klan and finding their people. She's got their people held hostage. So, anyway, because that's what they tell me in my brain all the time. She's got our people. She has our people. They're pissed. So anyway, so he goes to jump out the window, and I'm like, don't leave till the morning. And so you know everything with Windows and then Microsoft Windows, but she's also using Winnie the Pooh reference there. So she's saying like honeypot, and then she's using her dumbass poo crap or whatever. She likes to she's blushing my face right now. I don't know what the hell for. Gene Roberts, everybody knows you call people poop. You commit terrorism using the word poop. You call all African Americans what you are, which is a you know what. And then she calls all fat people what she is, which is a you know what. And then she turns around and she goes, no, Christina said that. Christina said, I would never do something like that, you Ku Klux Klan whore. And then she even told me that she got black people to go along with it. And then I had rappers come on. I was working at Research. And she was just now rolling this out, trying to do this. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell? How are you guys letting her get away with that? Why are you letting her get away with that? Why are you not turning her in? And they're like pissed in my brain. Like they can't stop her. No matter every move they made, it was like they hit a brick wall. And I'm like, are you allowing her to do that? And they're like, no. So anyway, that's the end of this recording.